Good morning, it's Captain Brian here with this morning's edition of Get Boativated. We're here in sunny Southwest Florida in Fort Myers, sitting on the Caloosahatchee, and it is a beautiful day this morning out on my 5-mile walk that I do about 4 to 5 days a week. And you can see the river behind me, and there's a tide that's moving out right now. And if you know anything about the water, the oceans and the river systems, there's always a tide in this area for the water comes in and then the water goes out. And then we actually have 2 tides a day. There's a big tide and a small tide. But that's when things change and that's when things are happening. The fish follow the tide. When the tide moves, it's kind of like a river. It causes erosion along the riverbank, so it's always changing the riverbank. It's depositing other dirt in other parts of the river and making sandbars. It's always moving, but there's 2 times a day when they call it a slack tide, when it's sitting in place, where there's like, it's just not moving at all. The momentum is changing and it's getting ready to go the other direction. And you can look at that in 2 different ways. One, that could be one that in your life, if you're not moving and doing something, your life is a tide. You always have to be moving to make change happen. And the times you sit down and watch TV for an hour and a half to 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours if you're binge watching, you know, that's your slack tide, and absolutely nothing's getting done at that point in time. Yes, you could be resetting yourself if you've taken set time aside and watch 1 hour of TV of whatever your favorite show is. But make the rest of that time, get the tide moving again, get it flowing, get it moving. Because once it gets moving, it's gonna go, it's gonna go, it's gonna go, and then it slows down and it stops again. It's just like taking a break. So take advantage of your own personal tide. Make your tide happen, because it's only you that's gonna make the tide happen. Our tides revolve around the gravity of the moon, pulling the waters in and out as the earth spins. And yours is your own mindset and your life and you building what you want to build. And part of that is, most of you know me from Laughing Comedy Cafe, I've just recently sold the club because I had laid down a blueprint and a plan to sell it, like to have it for 5 years and touch people's lives and create a spot for people to come forget about everything else. And that's giving them their slack tide of laughter in the middle to come in so they can be refreshed and go out and make things happen in their lives. And like I said, we had a 5-year plan for it, and we hit the financial goals and the numbers that we wanted to make that happen in 3.5 years. And we've just passed that on to some great guys that are going to make that happen. But it is that's where you need to be. Like, that's where you got to figure out what your plan is and how you're going to affect people and change people's lives. My personal now is I want to go out and help people with their businesses and getting their lives on track and getting their tide moving with coaching and helping them be a backbone, be a support for them for doing that. But why I'm doing that is because I want to live a freedom lifestyle, and Janice and I's goals are to get on a boat and like start traveling around the country, and then we can I can do the coaching from anywhere in the country for the most part, wherever we have Wi-Fi and a phone, and I can make that happen. I can create these videos to help boost your morning schedules and get your day started every morning with a new idea, a new concept, a new possibility of making yourself a better person and doing that. And if you want to know more about how to create that for yourself, give me a call, hit me up. I always do a free phone consultation for about an hour. Get your plan, see if we connect, see if we can make a plan happen and make your life a little bit better and touch the lives of more people. Because if you're not affecting other people's lives, your life's not being affected and you're not going anywhere either. So don't get stuck in a slack tide where you're not getting anything done. Make that tide move and make it happen so you can change and get things going better. I'm Captain Brian. If you like this, please share it with a friend and pass this on and hit like at the bottom. You can follow all these videos now on the iTunes. I got my podcast on there. I do basically the same video, but I do it just an audio on iTunes. I'm not sure if I'm quite on Spotify yet, but I post them every morning as well. And if you like them, please pass them on. Let somebody else know. If you know somebody looking for a little interest to jump up their life and get their tide moving, have them give me a call. I'll be more than happy to work with anybody and get to go and see if if everything works well. I'll give you a little breakdown idea of how I can help them if we have a connection and make that happen. And I really only want to work with people who really want to make this happen. If you don't want the actual help, don't bother, because it's not going to do any good. You won't listen. But if you want the help, you're willing to learn, you're willing to be coachable, you're not going to be judgmental of everything that's around you and just open-minded, that's the people we want to work with. You are the ones that are going to be the jumping up through society and making life better and helping other people and making your life better to do that. So get some education into yourself, invest in yourself, and pass this on to other people. Greatly, I appreciate it. I'm Captain Brian. We'll see you tomorrow. Get motivated.